I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Hello everybody and welcome to the latest Elite FPL stream. Myself, Steve. Yeah, it's a solo stream. No Jason, no Dan. Live with it. So, it is double game week 37. I'm going to be as honest as ever. I am so happy this season is finally over. Just bring on next week, Sunday, when I'm going to be actually going to... Do you know, I don't even know what the plan is. I think it's going to FPL Juice. FPL Juice, I'm assuming Streamception. I don't have a clue. They've then got a party bus. We're probably the most miserable person on there. And it's going to take us down to the Thirsty Bear. That's what it's called. I just called it the Three Bears on the Total Steamer podcast. And then it's just going to be basically me not giving a flying stuff about anything that's going on and just praying that the game week 38 just ends so I can just get back to a fucking life. God's sake. I stated it to... This isn't going to be like Black Box last night that lasted 2.5 hours to 11:30 where they're talking positively about FPL. Forget that. I've absolutely detested this season, and I cannot wait for next week, which is going to vanish like this week. I keep saying it to Alex Vollum and thank him as ever for the thumbnails. I said to him that I can't believe I think it was Thursday already, and the fact that I already need a thumbnail for Friday, Saturday, and it will be for Sunday as well. And because it's just, these weeks are just vanishing into thin air. And for me, I'm just happy at the fact that I never ever for the next 3 months have to talk about football. Because I just could not give a crap about it. In the words of Jason, I couldn't give a crap about it, to be frank. And I know people hate the way I'm talking now. I know they do. The comments will come in. And I don't mean now, I mean after on the video. These sad people still watch it. Oh, painful. Like I said, I'm just going to be streaming for about 30 minutes and I'm going. It's simple. I haven't got anything to say. The team's up on screen, if you're even bothering watching it up on screen. If you're not and you're listening in on this, well, in Britain anyway, it's a lovely sunny day. It's been absolutely boiling over the past 2 days. And all I've been doing is sat outside tanning. It's quite simple. All I've been doing is tanning, that is it. No jobs apparently, fine, I'm sewing, care less. Let's get browner and browner and browner. It's great. Boring, don't get me wrong, it's boring. But I was thinking this literally just now in the shower. And this time last year, I was, if you remember, I was at my most lowest ebb. And I was so depressed, I actually fancied committing suicide. Think about that. Can't joke about that, Steve. You can't joke about that. You can't joke about that topic. No, you're right, you can't. Yeah. You can. When you've got the kind of sense of humour, the dark humour that I have, you can. Blame Ricky Gervais on that. Blame him. At him at X. We blame you, Ricky Gervais, for Steve-O's dark sense of humour. And I was doing overnight work. And I was in so much pain because of my ankle. So this time last year, when was it? April the 31st. April the 31st, I thought I sprained my ankle. And it was like that. It was like a cricket ball on the right-hand side of my foot. Or my ankle. Whatever. And I stupidly decided to continue working on it because the company, well, Tesco, were in a point where they needed a shift leader. Yeah. Shift leader to do overnight work. And I thought, do you know what? It gets me away from these morons I've got to work with. The management specifically. To hell with it, I'll do it. And I was doing, what was I doing again? 8 or 9 in the evening till 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I can't. Was it finishing at 5? I think it was finishing at 5, yeah. And every morning, so once it got to about 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd just be in the canteen, tears in my eyes with my ankle. And I'd get home and I'd just cry, hating what the fuck I was doing in my life. And yeah, then it goes on to the world of online delivery driving, which after leaving shop floor was an absolute relief. But yeah, every night again, crying my eyes out because my fucking ankle was in so much agony. Threatened to fire me, of course. If you go off sick, you will be fired. We'll be terminating your contract. Right. Okay. Great. And of course, 6 weeks later, leave that job. Go into the new role I'm in. 3 months down the line, where my foot still isn't getting any better. It's got a tiny bit better. And one day I actually go on my first leave after, what was it? I think it was like 8 months or 9 months without a break. And eventually I get a 2-week break and my foot still isn't recovering. I come back. Yeah, I could have gone about it a tiny, slightly different way, but I thought, no, out of respect to the management, I'll get them all in a room together and I'll tell them the truth. I'm in absolute agony and there's a small chance I may have to go off sick because I just cannot walk on this foot. Can't do that, else we're going to fire you. Right? Great. Brilliant. Fast forward 6 months and here I am today doing a fucking poxy stream. Fuck me. Not even wanting to do it because I cannot stand talking about fantasy football. My voice is completely gone because I was puking up the other day through food poisoning. So it's basically all the acids in my stomach has basically burnt my throat. Just in that toilet over there. Not that you can see it. Over there. Throat completely torn to shreds. Puking up, blood, everything. Just fucked me right up. And now, yeah, great. It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. It's just weird. It's just weird how life changes in the space of a year, and now it's just, chatting like this about a fantasy football team I literally could not care less about. Pickford in goal, Cucurella, which was my transfer, Gabriel, Vardio, Palmer, Son, Gordon, triple captain. I still don't know who I'm I don't even know who I'm captaining. It's either going to be Gordon. It's going to be one of them four on the right hand side. Gordon, Foden, Gordon, Foden. Then we've got Jackson, Isaac, and Haaland. Everybody's going to be captaining Haaland. That's in a good rank. People that are shit at the game are captaining either Gordon or Isaac. It's simple. I can already see something. I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm not even going to bother looking at the chat, to be honest with you. But someone's going to be writing in the chat going, I'm 50k in the world and I'm captaining Foden. Well done. Well done. Although it was, I don't know, I said this to Ray on a voice message earlier on. I don't know if I was dreaming. Because when I went to sleep last night, after watching how the Nazis lost the war, about the fact that Hitler was a heroin addict, great entertainment. Brilliant. It's actually a very good series if anybody wants to bother watching it on Netflix. There's my recommendation of the day. How the Nazis lost the war. It's brilliant. Genuinely really good. Very interesting archive footage. Footage I've never actually seen before. Very, very fascinating stuff. Anyway, and I just went to sleep and I just woke up and the heat, because of the heat, I cannot sleep. So I just put on XFM. So I'm up to series 1, episode 18. Was listening into that. And I'm like, I don't know why, but something clicked in my head. I was like, I wonder if Black Box are still live. So I went on YouTube and yeah, they were still live. And I thought, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to listen in. Because again, I don't know why. I find that with the psychology with live streaming and watching on the replay is completely different. And people prefer watching something live than, unless you're a die-hard fan of whatever it is. So in this case, Elite FPL, you're probably going to listen to about 5 minutes on the replay and go, and that's it. It's very rare that anybody watches the full streams on replay. I mean, I do with FPL Juice, but again, I listen to it, most of it live. And actually, no, I tell a lie, I do watch it actually. I lie on my bed and I'll just rewind it back to wherever I essentially listened it up to, and then I'll just listen into it from there. Yeah, but the live stream element, it's people don't, it's the psychology of like, I don't really want to watch a replay because it's live. It's really weird. It's a very strange thought process. But again, I know that doesn't apply to a lot of people because there's only a few people that watch Elite FPL live as an example. As an example. And yeah, with Black Box being live last night, I thought, fuck this. Hit the like button. Yeah. Shall I write in the comments section, I was the 150th person to like your stream. Please validate me as I comment on your stream, please. Mark Southerns, please. Please say something about me. Fuck me. People are like that, by the way. Again, it's another fascinating psychology study. Fascinating. Get the live streamer to validate your name live on air. Oh my god, he's mentioned my name. Brilliant. I always do that live. Be like, Ibiza. You'll love it up there. Like Ibiza or something. And what faith are you? What faith am I? Catholic. Oh really, sir? We really fucking mental. But yeah, I was just listening to Black Box, and they were. I would say someone in the comment section, right, but I'm not going to read it. So I was listening in, and I then started. I don't know if I was dreaming, if it was like the words from Mark and Az's voices subconsciously getting into my mindset, and I was just putting those words together and making it into a dream. I don't know, but they were talking about FPL Challenge and how next season they need to. And I agree, they do need to implement. There will be things that they implement from FPL Challenge into next season's game. They have to. I say they have to, they don't. But I would find it a bit frustrating that next year it is just the same game. 2 wildcards, free hit, bench boost, triple captain, and that's it. Brilliant. The wig, the glasses, the catchphrase, brilliant. Come on, a bit of catchphrase there, isn't it? Ooh, the wig. You couldn't get a bartender, mate. Can I get a picture of you? Why not? You couldn't call my mate Frank, could you? Hello, mate. How's it going? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, FPL Challenge. And the fact that it'd be really disappointing if they don't implement some ideas next season, because am I right in saying that there'll be no double game weeks next season because of the FA Cup replays are scrapped? Brilliant. I'm sure I said it on the Patreon. I don't have a fucking clue, to be honest with you. But I probably even said it on stream. I think that with the game next season looking like it's going to be a bit flat, in the sense of we don't really need to save our chips for double game weeks or whatever, that if they do something like FPL, I mean, the one thing I am pretty certain on is they're going to move the deadline to the first kickoff. I'm pretty certain they're just going to do what Sky does and move it to the first kickoff. I found out that on FPL Juice that James of Planet FPL is 52nd. I was like, fucking hell. That is 52nd in Sky. It's fucking disgusting. That is absolutely ludicrous. So when he said that, I was just like, bloody hell. I don't even play the game and I'm 1800th. I don't even play the game. I just go, best captain, yeah, done, that's it. And if I do transfers, it's because it's by pure luck. That's just by luck. And yeah, so it'd be interesting to see next season, like I have to make up this. In game week 1, as an example, you have all the promoted teams get double points, but the problem with FPL is that because it's all based on some form of I mean, all fantasy games are based on strategy, but because it's based on some form of strategy, we don't want to be bringing in just, I don't know, who's been promoted again? Ipswich, Leicester, and some other. Well, they haven't even been played on the playoffs yet, but certainly as it stands right now, Leicester and Ipswich have been promoted. So let's just say Leeds get promoted, and then there'll be people that bring in 3 of each. So they got 9 players. They all get double points. That'd be Mr. Reed. And I don't think something like that will happen. I don't know. I generally don't know. Or it'll be like game week 1, all your midfielders score double points. I think I said it the other day. I think the best idea I have legitimately heard is Ash on FPL Juice say that at the start of the season, you get given 8 chips. There's 8 chips, but you can only choose 4. It's like Roman says in The Office. You've got a chicken, a fox, and a bag of seed. But the only thing is, you can only take one at a time. So, and then of course it cuts to Jamie. Well, you can't take the chicken first. The day that Brent comes along. Hi. Fucking mental. But yeah, you got 8 chips at the start of the season, and you have to choose 4. So you can only choose 4 chips for the whole of the season. I think that'd be really quite good. I mean, everybody would copy Harry. What chips is he using? Yeah. No, I'll just do that, yeah. Same as Andy. What's he doing? Yeah, just copy him. Yeah. Copy. Fucking hell, it's tragic, isn't it? Copying someone's team because they're doing well. It's like, what did Tom say on FPL Juice? You come into the chat pretending to be somebody that you're not. What a loser. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to name this person, but an individual subscribed to us the other day, quite prominent in the world of FPL. And I looked at their channel and I thought, this looks legit. This actually looks legit. They're going to be unsubscribing in a minute. They won't be watching this crap live. Jesus. But yeah, I'm just overjoyed that I don't even feel like the end of the season. I don't even know where the season's gone. I don't even know this season has even existed. Again, I think that when you're in a stage of your life, in your 30s, where pretty much life commitments are more important than, in this specific case, sport. At this point for me, it's just, where has game week 38 come from? Where's the final day of the season come from? I couldn't even tell you who's top of the league, to be honest with you. It's Man City, but, I couldn't even... No, is it Man City? Yes, it's Arsenal. Yeah, of course it is. It won't be for long. It won't be for long. Yeah, Arsenal top, Man City, Liverpool. And then, of course, you got Aston Villa, who've cemented themselves in, not officially, but they've pretty much cemented themselves in 4th spot. And then, of course, Tottenham, who will be beating us on whatever day they're playing us. I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Then Newcastle, they're in some very good form at the moment. If they were to win their next 3 games, and Tottenham were to really cock up, and you never know. In fact, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man United, I can already hear you sniggering. In theory, if Tottenham cock up and the 3 of them go on some winning streak, Tottenham could lose out 5th spot here. I mean, with Burnley, I was listening into the B-Hole podcast. I said to my uncle on the voice message, I just said, do you know what I like about the Bill? The Bill. Do you know what I like about the Bill? The B-Hole podcast is just that they just remind me of me. They're just a bunch of blokes in their 30s. Some of them have generally worked for Burnley, or they've worked for the Burnley press. And they just chat absolute nonsense and just perplexed by what's going on at their club. It's just really interesting. But they were just saying that if there is a miracle to happen, it could be that we beat Tottenham tomorrow, which isn't going to happen. We could beat Tottenham tomorrow. And then if Luton, just like I said, don't lose, if they don't if they lose both their next games and we were to win, then it's down to Nottingham Forest on the final day of the season. If Nottingham Forest lose to Chelsea. And it's a highly unlikely scenario, but there is a small possibility that we could potentially get out. We won't. We're relegated. We'll give it our all at Tottenham, but we're going to get battered. If I was to go for a score prediction, I reckon they'll score 3, 4. We may get one, but we're the kind of team which if a team's doing poorly, just play Burnley. All you got to do, just play Burnley. The only good thing about tomorrow is the fact that we've got 8 games. 8 games tomorrow. And it's going to be a great day tomorrow because we've got Streamception at... No, you'll be listening to Streamception. You're not going to be doing it, Steve. Yeah. You've got Streamception before Fulham versus Man City. Even though, ironically, I'll be listening into Streamception while during it because I'm always an hour behind. And then hopefully Mark Goldbridge will be live for the Fulham versus Man City game. Potentially he will, but he doesn't normally like covering Fulham versus Man. He doesn't normally like covering Man City, so it's unlikely he's going to cover that. He may cover the 3 o'clock games, but again, Man United aren't involved, so the reality is that I'll probably be ending up listening into Talk Sport. And then the games just end at 5:30, and then you'll be pleased to know Jason will be back. I can already hear someone go, oh, thank God. I can finally listen to something. They're still listening now, miserable at the fact that I'm being miserable. They'd rather listen into this shit. But yeah, Jason's going to be back tomorrow, and we'll be doing Saturday night reaction. And then I believe he said he's going to be here for Sunday surgery. I know Dan's going to be here for Sunday surgery. I know that for definite. But if Jason's here as well, I'm just going to tell Dan, look, please be on camera. Because Jason will be able to do a setup where all 3 of us are on camera to do Sunday surgery. And then it all concludes on Monday with Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Then we're straight into the final of the double game weeks with Spurs versus Man City. And there's a small possibility I'm going to suggest to Jay if we do a watch along for the Man United Newcastle game. But it's all depending on how I feel. But it is his team at the end of the day. And yeah, it's Brighton versus Chelsea and Man United versus Newcastle. And the games look like they could be quite exciting, but I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm going to do some basic research now as you can probably hear the ice cream van coming. Brilliant. Great. The most annoying noise on the planet. I could do the dumb and dumber joke now. I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered to do it. Yeah, certainly when it comes to the main contenders in this double game week, so with Man City away at Fulham, the history, brilliant. A very, 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 very comprehensive Man City win. There's a lot of 2s though. 2-0, 3-0. These are all Man City wins. 2-0, 3-0, 4-1, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 5-1. The last time they played each other, where it ended 5-1. Let's see who got the goals that day and the assists. On that day, Alvarez scores, Haaland assist. Followed up by a Tim Ream reply, and then it was just annihilation. Phil Foden assisting Ake, then Haaland. God. Last time he scored a hat-trick was against Wolves, in the sense of last week they played Wolves. The last time he played Wolves, he scored a hat-trick. Oh, God. Am I really going to be triple captaining Haaland, Alex? Am I going to be ending up triple captaining Haaland, Alex? I don't know. Still don't know. Let's just quickly see. So, comprehensive victory for Man City. Newcastle versus Brighton. What's the history suggesting for that? If this says shit, then that's it. I'm captaining Haaland. Here we go. It's going to load up. Yeah. Scores all over the place. 1-1, 2-1 Newcastle, 0-0, 4-1 Newcastle, 2-1 Newcastle, 3-1 Brighton. So basically Brighton have won once in the last 6, which was coincidentally the same day that Man City beat Fulham 5-1. And Brighton won 3-1. Do you remember this guy called Evan Ferguson? Do you remember him? That bloke, apparently he's going to be the next big thing, like Brock Lesnar? No, nor do I. He scored a hat-trick that day. Wait a minute, is this the day that there were 3 people that scored a hat-trick? Haaland, Ferguson and Son? Or am I going mad? Probably going mad. But yeah, Ferguson scored a hat-trick. Anthony Gordon, Alex Follow, got a yellow card that day. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. The fact that the one player that I'm tempted to captain in Alex Vollo. I'm tempted to captain Alex Vollo. Still do a better job than Anthony Gordon. So already it's clear that Man City are the favourites. Then we move on to the following week. Oh yeah, Tottenham, of course. Tottenham, some people are potentially going to captain Son. You're mental. Oh, shouldn't be saying that. Jesus Christ. Tottenham 4, Burnley 0. Burnley 0, Tottenham 1. Burnley 1, Tottenham 0. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. Burnley 2, Tottenham 5. And then Tottenham 1, Burnley 0 in the FA Cup. So Tottenham on that day. Shouldn't you know, Steve? You're a Burnley fan. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't even remember this. Was this the day that Son got the hat-trick? Yeah, it was. Son hat-trick, Romero and James Maddison. Lyle Foster and Josh Brownhill with the goals for Burnley. Trafford in goal, never plays for us. Dakhil on the right-hand side doesn't play for us. O'Shea, yeah, he does play. Bayer doesn't play for us anymore. Connor Roberts doesn't play for us. Koleosho doesn't play for us. Sanderberg, player of the season, he still plays there. Josh Cullen, yep, he does play. Goodmunson, he's just a substitution now for Odebear. Foster and Amdouni. Amdouni definitely doesn't play much these days. Definitely not. Christ. Don't even know it exists. But yeah, so far it's in favour of, surprise, surprise, Man City. And then the following week with, of course, Tottenham at home to Man City. The history reads as follows. Yeah, I think I'm going to be captain in Haaland, Alex Vollo. Sorry, mate, you're going to have to change the thumbnail. Okay. Here we go, 1-0. Bit like with Burnley, really. Tottenham 1, Man City 0. Man City 2, Tottenham 3. Man City 4, Tottenham 2. Tottenham 1, Man City 0. Man City 3, Tottenham 3. Tottenham 0, Man City 1. I think it's going to have to be. I mean, the last time they played each other in the league, it ended 3-3. It ain't going to be ending 3-3 this time around. Christ, God knows. Son with the first goal. Son with the second goal for Man City. Scores an own goal. Alvarez assisting Foden. And then we got Lo Celso being assisted by Son. Erling Haaland assisting Jack Grealish. And then Brennan Johnson, remember him? Assisting Kulusevski. And then for Newcastle against Man United, I'm sure this is like Newcastle winning like 2-0, 3-0, 1-0s. Sure it is. I'm sure they've kept a lot of clean sheets against Man United. I'm certain of it. And the answer is, yes, they have. We've got a 1-1, but then we got a 0-0, 2-0 Man United, 2-0 Newcastle, 3-0 Newcastle, 1-0 Newcastle. The day they beat Man United 1-0, who scored the goal in question? I haven't got a clue. The answer is, Anthony Gordon. but it doesn't matter because what's his face? Haaland is gonna go ballistic. Although if I'm Jason, I'm captaining Kevin De Bruyne. That's the truth. I think I'd probably captain Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, if I look at the away form versus home form for these teams, so Man City are both away games. They just destroy teams. Their last 6 away from home. 2-0 win, 4-0 win, 4-2 win. They drew 1-1. In fact, the 4th game back, so the 4th away game back for Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Tottenham, and Man United are all draws. Weird. They drew with Liverpool 1-1 and then a 1-0 win against Bournemouth and a 3-1 win against Brentford. So basically they're going to get a clean sheet against Fulham. Newcastle, away from home, are absolute garbage. They beat us 4-1. They lost to Crystal Palace 2-0. They beat Fulham 1-0. There's a couple of losses there again. 3-2 to Chelsea and a 4-1 to Arsenal. Another win there, 3-2. So it could be a high-scoring game against Man United. But Man United are home. Of course, Man United are at home in both games, aren't they? So I think there will be an upset. I generally do think there's going to be an upset against Arsenal. I just have this gut feeling that Man United are going to either draw 2-2 or win 3-2. Or the game's going to end 3-2 either way. Or end up as a draw. It's based on absolutely nothing. Look at the history between these two. It just follows. Basically, if you're the home team, you're going to win. Man United 3, Arsenal 2. Arsenal 3, Man United 1. Man United 3, Arsenal 1. Arsenal 3, Man United 2. Fucking weird pattern. 3-2, 3-1, 3-1, 3-2, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1. It's mad. The 2-0 was in a friendly, but I look at all results. Unfortunately, Arsenal fans, Ray, Dan, looks like Man United are winning. I'm afraid to say. Your dream's going to be over. I mean, I know Ray will say and Dan will say the dream's over anyway, but the dream is over. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that now. Change the captaincy to Haaland. Just change that around. Let's just make him captain. If it decides to pop up, which of course it doesn't. Well, it's not popping up, so I cannot be bothered to do anything. It's not allowing me to change the captain, but it looks like I'm going to be captain in Haaland. Probably. I don't know. I still just don't know. This is the point about my indecisiveness. Or just leave it on Gordon and just forget about it. I may even just quickly look at the away from... In fact, Foden away from home is quite good. So Haaland away from home this season. 5 points Nottingham Forest. 8 away at Crystal Palace. 5 against... This is just his returns. 5 against Bournemouth. 5 against Brentford. 16 at Chelsea. 16 at Man United. 6 against West Ham, 4 against Sheffield United, and 13 against Burnley. Okay, fair enough. As normal, I'm speaking absolute nonsense. And then with Foden, his returns away from home, 16 at Brighton, 11 at Bournemouth, 20 at Brentford, 8 at Everton. Bloody hell, Foden likes to play away from home. Very difficult. Talking of difficult, let's just have a quick look at the mini leagues for a split second. I mean, the trophy league's ridiculous. So this is the Patreon trophy league. Whoever wins it wins a trophy, would you believe? I'm hoping someone in Britain wins it. So basically I'm hoping Paulie or John Harris win it. It's only 9 points in it. 9 points now between first and fourth. Between Paulie, Zvonka, Harbour Boy and John Harris. They're all going to play their bench. In fact, apart from Zvonka, John, Harbour Boy and Paulie are all going to be playing their bench boost and they're all going to be captain in Haaland. And they've got the odd differential here or there, but pretty much their teams are give or take virtually the same. Virtually the same, just the odd difference here or there. Brilliant. It's just signed me out of FPL. Fantastic. Maybe I can't go on 2 accounts, two things at the same time. And the YouTube chat league. Well, is Harbour Boy the last in the marathon? He's been leading the marathon the whole bloody way and decides to give up in the final sprint because Harry, FPL Harry, has caught him. 17 points, Harbour Boy. God almighty. 17 points now between the two. It was like 300, wasn't it, at one point? In the Rivals League, Harbour Boy is, well, Sultan Saeed, I don't even think exists anymore. He is 23 points behind Harbour Boy. Ayush is there. I mean, he's miles off from... I mean, he is 30 points behind Sultan Saeed in second. Where's Danny gone? Oh, he's down to 8th. He's down to 8th. It's funny, looking at the names there, I don't think any of them exist anymore. To be honest with you. Not many exist anymore, sadly. Well, I don't see any of them much in the chat or commenting on videos, so I just assume that they're not watching. What else is there to look at? Well, I'll look at the Members League, even though it doesn't exist anymore. Well, Zvonka's top. Zvonka's top by 1 point. And then there's Harbour Boy Harry, but that's going to be deleted next season, the Members League, because it doesn't exist anymore. Of course, we do have the Super Cup, which is going to be contested by Zvonka and Harbour Boy, which is just crazy. Absolutely crazy when you think about it. I mean, in the Torbay Elite, I mean, me catch the highest position I can get is 6th, and that's going to be the lowest position in the Torbay Elite I've ever had. There's no way I can catch Dan unless by some miracle Dan cocks up his bench boost and my triple captain somehow outscores his bench boost. It is, and when I say outscores his bench boost, I mean doesn't just outscore his bench boost, but gets double the amount of points for me to be able to catch Dan. Dan's actually beaten me for the first time ever in the history of Torbay Elite. Which is just, from my point of view, it just, again, I reiterate this point. I have had quite literally the worst season ever this year. What do you put that down to, Steve-O? I don't have a clue. I don't really care. shit decisions, changing a mind. I really don't know. It is actually just down to that, really, just stupidly changing. It was like last week, for example. In fact, this time last week, Friday, maybe not this time, but certainly whenever it was a case of, oh yeah, I'm just going to bring in Brennan Johnson. I can't even remember now. Oh no, yeah. I can't even remember now, but basically I just missed out. I missed out on 33 points. If I'd have just left my team as it was before the deadline, which I was going to do, I didn't. I stupidly crumbled like a child, gave in, and I ended up... Oh, it was Foden, wasn't it? Foden in for Johnson, playing a 3-5-2. Yeah. Again, as Ricky Gervais says to Darren Lamb, moron. And I do agree with that. But it's looking like Darren Monday is going to win the Torbay Elite. Certainly the YouTube chat league. I mean, Harbour Boy would be very, very disappointed if he loses that. Again, he's been doing so well this season. Really well this season. In fact, Harry is actually here. He's actually here. Twisted Sparky saying, I'm worried that Man United are going to upset with Rashford scoring. Is Rashford even alive? Is he actually even alive, Rashford? That's the question. Is he even alive to participate in this match? I don't actually know whether or not Rashford's fit and available. Remember, he was my wild card. That's what I was thinking. Paulie saying, why would anyone not captain Haaland this week? Anything of interest? No. Fucking hell. Anything of interest on this chat at all? Men in Black saying you were doing well in Sky early in the year. From memory, you were top of the Burnley mini league. To be honest, I just gave up. It just ended with the fact that there was 1 week I missed a transfer, and then another week I forgot captaincy, and I was just like, I generally don't care. Off. I just couldn't give a shit about it, to be honest with you. Evening, Connor. Welcome. Matty saying, you said you don't play Sky FF now, but at the start of the season for the first 1,012 game weeks, you were well into it because you were doing well. Well, I'll just explain what I just said. Andrew Ferguson saying FPL needs a massive shake-up. Yeah, like I said, I go back to FPL Juice / FPL Challenge / what Ash said. I think that there needs to be something done with the chips. I think that the Error Division game that I don't know, whatever the chips that they throw in, I think would be of interest. But the reality is that they won't. It's like Nuka Atom says, they've got to please the fans, to be honest. How's Kitchen Nightmares been, Steve-O? Well, the next episode I'm going to watch. I say watch. I only watch like the first half an hour, but I don't like the American one now. I said to Nuka Atoms, the American one is too fake. And in fact, actually at the end of the show, it literally says we have paid people to come in, which is just ludicrous. And then also it says that we have pretty much set this whole thing up and we've edited the show together and it's just like, so basically it's just fake. brilliant. Whereas the British one is legitimately real and is open and honest. I hate that with the American version. I'm only doing that because Ray's there. Having your triple captaincy is differential enough. Yeah, whatever. I generally, whatever I put it on, I put it on. Like I said, it's been a crap thing out. Shani Russell is saying, shout out to my mate who recommended this channel, Hugh Janus. Very good, well done. Yeah, I'm so funny. I've got Steve-O to say Hugh Janus. Trust me, if you listen to my podcast, that's nothing. Well done. Trust me, do that with Mark Goldbridge, do it with Andy, do it with Harry. Me, I'm a complete nobody, so I'll read out anything. I really couldn't care less. That's -1 sub. Yeah. I subscribed to this channel just to write a comment. Now I've got the attention I need. Fucking hell, man. Get a life. Anything of interest at all here? It's just nothing. I have nothing to talk about, so if no one else is saying... Twisted Spark is saying Rashford and Martinez in some sort of training. What does that mean? What, they're running around a bit? I mean, training could mean anything. Absolutely anything, to be frank. I'm not going to read that out, Twisted, because I don't really like talking about things like that, to be honest with you. I don't really like talking about that. Clear off. Go away. What's that they're saying? Paulie saying, I'm considering bench boosting game week 38. Nonsense. Absolute twaddle. In the words of Ricky Gervais, absolute twaddle. That you're going to play the bench boost. You're not going to play the bench boost this week. Your team is set up. Why don't I just go to the trophy league? Your team is set up absolutely perfectly for this double game week for bench boost, and yet, actually, I say that Van Dijk, Areola. Then what are you going to do in game week 38? You're going to have to remove all these players anyway. I mean, game week 38. It's going to be really interesting at FPL meets what it's going to be like on game week 38, because I generally mean this, I'm going to be more interested in what Juice are doing with the stream, because I keep stating this, I'm more fascinated by the tech setup and where the guys are going to be doing it, and I genuinely mean this. I genuinely like talking to Jesse and James about how they bring the show to the audience and what Nick and Ash are doing. I will just happily just stand there and watch. In fact, that's what I was doing at the five-a-side tournament. In fact, talking of which, do you know what? I'm not even going to talk about FPL anymore. I'm just going to switch camera, and I am not talking FPL. I'm bored. I'm actually boring myself. So I'm going to switch camera, and I'm just going to talk like this for 5 minutes, actually do some proper admin. So if you don't like it, see you later. But yeah, with FPL Juice, they're going to be holding their annual, well, it will become their annual five-a-side tournament, and I do want to get a team together. So I've already had one person come forward on Discord and say that they'd be interested. So they'll be hosting their five-a-side tournament on the summer. I don't actually know. There's no date. I just know that it's going to be in the summer. And basically, I will be wanting to get a team together. I'm praying that Jason can do it. I mean, he did hint at the fact that he's going to play in goal. So I'd like to think that he'll make himself available. Dan, I definitely want to get involved with as well, because he's a bit. I mean, he says he hasn't played football for years, but he's a bit of a sportsman, so he'll come along. And then again, anybody watching this that actually wants to participate in a day out with some people. Oh God, it wants to hang out with a bunch of people that want to just have a laugh. Some people take it seriously, which is fair enough. In fact, to be honest, I'd be taking it seriously. FPL Air. He takes it really seriously. It's great, and which is good. And yeah, if you want to just hang out with a bunch of people, then yeah, just if you want to, and then obviously participate in a football match, then they're going to be holding their. I mean, I've said that I think they should hold it just as the game has been launched, personally. Like end of July, before the season starts, really. But yeah, whenever they hold it, they hold it. And if you want to sign up for Elite FPL, again, I haven't officially put the name forward yet, because if I can't get a team together, or more specifically, if I can't play, I mean, I could do a sush and stand at the touchline like this. Doing well, boys. Keep it up. No, but in all seriousness, I could do a sush and just stand on the touchlines and just watch, but but I don't want to. I actually want to participate, because there are people there that are clearly not footballers, but they participate with their favourite streamers, which is great to see. So I think that if you are somebody that plays football and wants to represent Elite FPL, preferably someone that actually watches the channel, that would help. I think we need a team of 8. I think it's a team of 8 people. And yeah, I'd like to think that people will want to just message me, preferably on Discord. X is a waste of time. But on Discord, you can message me and I will get back to you as soon as possible, really. But yeah, with Jason and Dan, basically, I've said regarding Patreon that after the season ends, so whenever that is, next week Sunday, Steve-O? Yeah, there's a way on Patreon that you can suspend payments. So I've always mentioned this on the Patreon podcast. So from whatever date it is, I'll be suspending the payments. I need to look into how I do it, but it's quite simple. There's literally a button that just says hold payments, basically. I know Planet FPL do it as well, which is really good of them. So what I kind of want people to realise is that next season, the Trophy League will be obviously open to any Patreon that's paying $4.99 a month. And in turn, that means that not only do you get additional podcasts, and if people are willing to comment on the podcast, they continue throughout the week. But you're also entered into the Trophy League. However, the terms and conditions are quite simple. You have to be a Patreon for $4.99 throughout the whole season, basically. If not, you'll be removed. It's quite simple, really. So yeah, for 9 months, you'll be paying $4.99. You know, an individual came forward to me the other day that, in fact, ironically, they're not even in the Trophy League, but they just said, look, I'm struggling for money this year, or more specifically, I'm struggling for money this month. Words to the effect of, please don't boot me out, whatever. And I just went, don't worry about it. The season's basically ended. You've been paying every single month for the past X amount of months. Don't worry about it. But yeah, for next season, I'd like to think that anybody that joins for free over the summer, then you may consider supporting the channel, and then you'll be entered into the Trophy League, where you win a trophy, basically. You never know. The bigger the Patreon gets, the more better the prizes, basically. Oh, shouldn't be talking about that, should I? If James or Nick are listening into this, shouldn't really be talking about this, should I? People get upset, get angry, get really pissed off at that. Can't say it. How to? Against the law. It's just funny because it's like, there's only so much I can say, but there's certain people that I speak to at work and they're like, can't really, you need to stop talking to them. They're not really allowed to interact with people. Brilliant. So it's clear to me that I'm making their day within reason. But you're telling me I'm not really allowed to talk to them. Brilliant. So then when I walk away, you can genuinely see that. It's quite sad, really. But yeah. So anybody listening in now that is a Patreon, you'll be pleased to know that after the final season, whenever the final game week, it will all be suspended, and then for whatever it is, 2.5 months, whatever it is, there'll be no Patreon. But I've told Dan, he hasn't actually replied yet, but we have spoken about it. So over the course of the summer, whether he wants to do it solo, whether he wants to do it with me, I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. He'll be hopefully producing some content for patrons regarding the Euros, which I could not care less about, even though ironically, this will be the first season I'll be watching a tournament since, I couldn't even tell you. I have zero interest in international football, but because of the way my work is now, there'll be football on TV, so I'm probably going to watch the game. Someone's already saying, you're going to play the fantasy game? Fuck off. No. So I'll be watching that. So I may actually have some input into what Dan has to say. Dan's a big England fan as well. So Dan will probably do some England chat and obviously some Euro tournament as well. He also wants to do some Arsenal chat as well. So Arsenal specific podcasts. And I've also told him if you want to talk about life in general and just talk about what he does as a job role and stuff and how he can help with the social media side of things and everything, I've told him just do it. It's an outlet. And as I've told patrons 1 billion times that if they comment, if they interact with the podcast, I will happily just do a follow-up to the podcast. People don't do it, that's down to them. But it's like I was watching Billy Mayhem the other day, and I really like his stuff. No one's going to know who he is. No one's going to give a shit about him. I've told you about him before. He's a bloke that does vlogs about underground heavy metal gigs. And there's something about him that I warm to. He has a Patreon, and essentially I make the point that, look, I understand why people pay Patreon to him. And for me, when I pay towards, like I pay towards Planet FPL, I pay towards FPL Juice, it's only a small little fee. It's what I can afford. It's because I support what they do. And with Billy Mayhem, he hadn't released anything for ages. And he released a video. It was like 3 weeks since his last one. And even for someone like me, I was like, oh, weird, Billy hasn't released anything for ages. It's a bit strange. And basically he was explaining in a video why, and he was just saying, look, real life has taken over. It's impossible for me and Ruby to go to gigs, and work has taken over. And even me as an audience member was like, don't apologise, don't worry about it. And then it just kind of like says to me that there's probably a lot of people that pay for Patreons, whether it's here, whether it's whomever, and are doing it because they just want to support the channel. That's it. It's their way of just saying thank you, which is great. So like I say, for anybody that wants to sign up to the Patreon for free, and then at the start of next season wants to pay $1.99 a month or $4.99, the option is there. It's completely up to you. But with the $4.99, like I say, you get additional content, and you also get entered into the Trophy League itself. Any other business? No, it's the simple answer. My voice is going. I think I've got well, I would say I'll read it out to you, but I cannot be bothered because I've closed the window down. Laryngitis, basically. But again, I think that's pretty much because the acid in my stomach just blew out my vocal cords, and it's no coincidence since that day I've been talking like this. Mental. Yeah, so me and Jason will see you tomorrow, where it'll be two miserable men chatting about how shit the game week's gone. So we'll be here tomorrow at 7:30? Yeah, it'll be about 7:30, 8 o'clock. whenever Jason wants to go live, I'll go live with him. And then Sunday surgery, as ever. And then that'll be it. That'll be pretty much... I think that's going to be the last stream from Elite FPL, because I don't know what Jason's plans are regarding the final day. I've actually encouraged him and said, look, if you can't come to FPL meets, which unfortunately you can't, you've got to be able to do a deadline, a final day watch along. If he can't, he can't. And yeah, next week's preview is potentially going to be the final Elite FPL stream, I think. I don't know. You'll just have to stay tuned with us about what's going on with everything regarding Elite FPL. Anyhow, on that note, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the like button, me and Jason would be grateful. Only if you like the video, of course. Yeah, if you've enjoyed tonight's stream or whatever, just make sure you hit the like button. If you are brand new around here and enjoying the tripe that's come out of my mouth today, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Other than that, if you want to join the Discord, it's there, it's available. Lots and lots of people genuinely do talk FPL. So yeah, you can join the Discord and chat FPL with people, help you with your decisions. And what else is there? Yeah, Patreon, just search us. It's, guess what? Elite FPL. It's there in green and black. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, me and Jason will see you tomorrow evening at 7:30 for the Saturday night reaction. Cheers for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.